right, welcome to an exciting episode of Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and today I'm joined by PR expert Susan Asher. And Susan, welcome to Thrive America.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure of meeting Susan recently at a growth club, and we just kind of hit it off and gave her a call. And every time we bring guests onto the show, we ask them to submit some talking points. And Susan, you submitted some great points, but in general, I just want to kind of have a conversation with you, if that's okay, and kind of pick your brain and kind of go from there.
Good.
Does that sound okay? Educate me a little bit about what someone in your field in PR, what exactly a company like yourself, what do you guys do?
Well, PR means different things to different people. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I do. Mm-hmm. I specialize in getting publicity in magazines. So if I was doing publicity for you, for Blank Stage Productions, I would try and get your name and your company out there in magazines, in newspapers. I'd get you some articles on the web. I'd try and get you an interview on the radio, TV. That's what I specialize in, getting people on local and national newspapers, magazines, radio, and television.
It kind of sounds in a way kind of too easy, but I know that there's some elements that you look for when you're working with your clients, and some of the angles that we talked when we were just kind of chatting up before we were on air here about what your clients need to do in terms of getting ready for a PR campaign. So educate me a little bit more about what it is that you look for, information or information from that company to make it newsworthy.
Okay. Well, when I'm first starting out with a client, I need to know what their budget is. Because sometimes people only want a budget for certain things, and other times they say, oh, we have a budget of, $5,000 or $6,000. I've got a few extra $1,000 I can play with, which means we can do an event. And you say, what do you need to do? Well, if you're not getting any publicity now and you've got nothing out there that's newsworthy, perhaps we need to partner with an organization. Maybe it's the Humane Society or something. We can sponsor an event with them. We can help create an event with them. If you're a pet company, good match. Maybe you're a video company. Maybe we would want to partner with a big theater, Cobb Energy Resource, and do some event with them, or let it be known that we're the film production company behind the scenes when Brian Regan comes in a couple of weeks. He'll be playing there. We have to look at that budget and see if you've got the budget to do that or not. If you don't, you need, either way, you still need to be able to communicate well. You need to be able to tell me what your story is. So and you need to get back with me. So if you represent a shirt company and the only thing you make is purple shirts, then I need to ask you questions about that, and you need to be prepared to sit down with your PR person and say, here's a little bit about our company, here's where the shirts are made, because all this is newsworthy, whether it's made here in the United States or whether it's made over in China and you've got little kids over there working in factories. Maybe it's made of organic material, and maybe it's made of recycled hemp. I don't know what it is, but you've got to be able to take the time and spend it with your PR person and say, here's a little bit about us. Because you can't just say, okay, do PR, I don't have time to talk with you, just get me in the newspaper.
I want you to stick around at the end of our session with Susan. She's going to reveal some really exciting tips and tricks and things that you can do on your own right now, right after you watch the segment, that can immediately get you some exposure and so forth. So stick around for those tips and tricks. Getting back to some things that you said just now triggered some questions and some curiosity. When you work with a client, do you find that they're resistant to give you material sometimes?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes there are those clients that are great to work with, and they realize we're a team. When we work together, when I work with a client, We work together as a team, meaning you need things from me and I need things from you. And I need things from you in a timely manner, just as you want publicity right away. When I ask for information, I need it from you as soon as possible, because a reporter won't wait. If I see an opportunity for a story out there on clothing manufacturers, and I say, got a couple questions, they need some information about this, you can't sit on that for a day, 2 days, 2 weeks. And there are some companies, believe it or not, out there who they want you to get publicity for them, but they don't want to spend any time answering your questions. So when you're part of a company and you want to work with a PR person, you've got to be there for them. So if you're the marketing guy of a company, and I have done work with a company, and the marketing guy just sits on information that the PR team needs, and PR team can't go anywhere. And then the president goes, why haven't you given us publicity? Well, we sent this over to the marketing guy 2 weeks ago, and we lost the opportunity. Nobody got back to us.
I think I'm getting a better sense of what it is that you do, and I think that what you kind of can help a client with is, one, helping them flesh out a newsworthy story within their organization.
Right.
Two, you have the resources that you've built throughout your career with different organizations and trade publications, and maybe the best blogs to steer your clients to. Have you run into a company or a client or a business owner who's tried to do this on their own? And I think there is tricks that you're going to reveal of ways people can do some stuff on their own, but really try to get in the newspaper and try to get big time press on their own.
Right.
And what have you observed there?
Well, I recently was working with a commercial real estate broker. And he told me for 4 years he'd been working to get his company, publicity, and he never was able to do anything. Well, I understood why. He said, Susan, we're moving our offices, and we think this is a big story, and the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, it's going to be in there, we want it in there, and we got to get on it right away because the Atlanta Business Chronicle is going to start writing about it right away. And I said, well, first of all, we got to write a press release, and that takes a few days. It takes a few days because he doesn't get back to me right away. So there are different drafts of it. It takes time. He's going to get back to me. I got to get back to him. We got to keep revising until it's right. There are questions I'm going to have. He might not be able to answer them all at once. So the first thing to do is get a press release. And then the next thing is, I've got to make this a newsworthy story. So his idea of the story is, he thinks he's going to be able to get this in the newspaper because they're moving, the office is moving. I'm like, that's not a newsworthy story. I said, here's the newsworthy story is, the economy is tanking, and real estate out there is at the bottom that it's been in like 30 years. Our story is, no, we're doing so much business that we have to move to a bigger space. While other real estate people out there are suffering, this economy is helping us more than ever, and here's why. And I explained that in my press release. So I had a newsworthy story, and I got him publicity in 5 different publications. I knew how to write it. I knew how to pitch it to a reporter. I know what the news is.
Sounds great, Susan. Just loaded with questions that you have me inspired. And thanks for pointing out my purple shirt. You've given me some ideas right there. So we'll be right back with another segment with Susan Asher of Asher PR.